Hey, Kevin here with another Flippin' Dork Flips and Finds video where I show you different items to pick up really cheap thrifting and garage selling. And I sell them online either on eBay or locally on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Anyway, this week starts off with a eBay sale. It's actually a pretty good one. I just picked it up this past weekend at a really under the radar type garage sale. It was kind of in the rough part of town. It was like a duplex apartment, and it was a garage around the back, so you couldn't even see what they had. And then when you walked in, it was almost all women's clothing, okay? But I found two really cool things there. And the interesting thing, it was a Friday. Apparently they had their sale on Thursday. I didn't know about that because I showed up Friday. As soon as I walk in, they said everything's half off. So any price was half off, all right? So the first thing I saw that stuck out was a pair of Harley Davidson boots that were 15 bucks. So I got them for $7.50 and have them listed pretty high. The other thing I got was this right here. This is an Apple Airport. I think it's kind of like a wireless router type deal or whatever. And anyway, it was marked at $10. So I was able to get this for $5. Okay. And I read through the bottom here. You wouldn't be able to see it on camera. It's really, really small fine print, but it says it's model A1521, and I looked these up and they went for really, really good money. So I listed mine for $79.95 with free shipping. And so I bought it Friday. I cleaned it up, took pictures, posted it on eBay on Saturday, and I believe it sold, it would have been what, Monday night, so last night. It sold Monday night, so what was that, 2 or 3 days it was up? And it sold for full asking price of $79.95. And I've already looked into it. I think it's going to cost $8.22 to mail out, and I have 5 in it, so it's about $13. So that's not too bad. That'd be a really, really good flip. So that was really cool. I like items like this. It's so easy to put in this little box. It's easy to ship out. It's in demand. It goes quick, and it goes for good money. So I love flips like these. So that was it for eBay sales. I have a couple of local sales that might happen. Some people asking about a bike. There's also a guy interested in that payday loan sign I bought a long time ago at a garage sale. Supposedly he wants to come get it today, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to go ahead and get this prep to ship out and then contact him again and see if he wants to meet. And I don't know. So local sales been kind of slow lately. We've had a lot of rain. Maybe that's part of it. I'm not sure, but the eBay items are going pretty well. So anyway, let me get this shipped out. Alright, so now it's the next day. It's Wednesday, and I had one sale overnight. It was an alright sale. I mean, pretty good for what I paid for it, but I was kind of hoping to get a little better, and I was hoping for some more sales, but that's okay. So it's this right here. It is that vintage Missouri Tigers mesh hat I got at a garage sale. I bought this right after I bought that other Missouri Tigers vintage hat that sold for really good money. I got it for free at an estate sale really late on a Sunday when they were trying to like close up shop and just get rid of stuff. I found it in their basement. They just gave it to me for free because I bought some other kind of junky furniture that I sold for a little bit of money. And that hat ended up selling for, I think it was $59.95 or something like that. Sent off to someone. For whatever reason, they decided to resell it on eBay, and they didn't get near as much money as I did. But anyway, got it for free, sold for $59.95. So that made me think there was people out there that wanted these really, really cool old vintage hats. So I saw this at a garage sale. It was $2, and I talked the guy down to $1 on it. And I just kind of took a guess. I couldn't find anything quite like it. Totally mesh, but definitely vintage. Had the big patch on there, so I figured there's probably going to be some interest. I tried putting it really high at like, so I paid $1. Tried putting it up for about $49.95. Nothing happened, so I dropped it down to about $40. Then I finally had it drop down to $34.95 or best offer, and had a guy wanting to. He was international in Vietnam, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, international buyer, but not going through the eBay global shipping program. He was going through some type of seller that was like on the coast, so I'd send it to them, and then from there they send it on, so they're going to be paying like a lot of money. He wanted to know if I would do it for $25 free shipping, so I countered back. I said I would do it for $30. And I didn't expect him to buy it, but he did. So that was yesterday afternoon. I told him, hey, I could do 30 if you wanted free shipping. And then overnight at some point he bought it. So I will send it out. I don't remember where it's going. I don't remember if it was going to like Oregon or California or maybe like New York. I don't know. It was a coast somewhere, and then from there it's going to get shipped out. So it's not too bad. So turn $1. It would be pretty inexpensive to ship out. It's less than a pound. It'd probably be, I don't know, $3.50, somewhere in there. So not too bad. Pretty good turnaround. And anyway, that was it. So I've been using the time of not having to ship stuff out and deal with all that to get caught up on a bunch of like bookkeeping type stuff. That's like, it takes up a lot of time. And I hadn't backed anything up in a long time, and my computer was starting to get clogged up. It was getting really slow. And then the last video that you just saw, I was trying to take the files off the camera onto the computer, and it said I was out of room. I had completely filled up the computer with all these video files and thousands of pictures of stuff. So I had to end up going and getting another external hard drive and backing everything up, dropping it on there, cleaning up my computer. Hopefully it's going to run faster now, and I have room to actually edit videos and things like that, because they take up a lot of room. So I mean, I have tons. I got a 2 terabyte external hard drive, and it's probably, I probably filled it up, probably not halfway yet, but maybe a quarter of the way. Like, I had a ton of stuff. I don't know, actually it might be close to halfway already. So anyway, that's kind of the stuff that's not so fun about this. I like going out and buying things, and then when they sell, and making the shooting the videos and all that. But all the other stuff, it'd be awesome if it was making enough money to like hire someone to do that, but I can't, so I had to do it all myself. And right now I'm looking at my room, and it is just packed to the gills with boxes. So I really got to get this stuff moving. I might need to start thinking about repricing some stuff, or just wait now that quarter 4 is coming around, where you know, Christmas shopping and all that. Maybe some of the stuff will start moving in. I don't know, but man, I am like, I barely have room to take photos in here now, and it's getting pretty bad. So I'm glad to sell some stuff off, but I really like to sell a bunch off, even if I barely make some money on some of it, just to get it gone, get some money flowing again. And then I'm going to, now that garage sale season is not ended yet, there's still a couple of months left, but it's going to start slowing down, and then winter's going to come, and thrifting around here is terrible. So I'm going to start rethinking how I buy and sell, and maybe start looking at trying to get a little bit higher end items to sell, because you can make really good money with less items. Like yesterday I showed you that Apple Airport I got for $5. Man, if I could find more of those and sell them for 70, 80 bucks, that's a great flip. This hat, paid $1, sold for 30. It's pretty good, and it does meet my $30 threshold, but man, if I could bump it up to like a $50, $60, $70 threshold and higher, then I could handle the amount of sales I'm doing now, but make, you know, 2-3 times the amount of money. So I don't know, it's something I'm kind of considering. But anyway, I got to quit talking about this and get this shipped out, because I got about 15 minutes to get it to the post office before they close. So I'm going to go do that real quick. All right, finally a local sale. It's been really slow this week, and I have several things listed on Facebook and Craigslist, and people have been asking, but no one's really set up a time. Kind of been going back and forth. But finally, there's a guy interested in these 2 20-pound dumbbells I picked up Sunday at a garage sale I just happened to find. I paid $5 for them. I listed them for $30 on Facebook Marketplace. And this guy's interested. He wants them for $25 though. And I'm just going to take it. So I'll meet him over there probably in 10 or 15 minutes and make about 20 bucks off of them. So that's not too bad. All right, so this week was really slow for some reason, and I didn't find a lot of stuff, and I didn't sell a lot of stuff until Thursday. And on Thursday, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of a trip and do some sourcing somewhere else than where I live. So I decided to hit up the Kansas City area, because it's way bigger than where we live now. I wanted to kind of see what it's like, somewhere bigger like that. I found really cool stuff. So first thing here is this dresser. It has 9 drawers, some type of stone top. I don't know if that's like marble or limestone, or I don't know what that is, but some type of stone top. It's in really good condition, just a couple of small little chips here and there. The handle here in the center is, I don't think it's the correct one. I think it should be like these, but they replaced it with something. And then also, you probably can't see it, but it comes with a mirror. And this was at a garage sale where the people had pretty nice stuff, and it didn't. They were probably in their 50s, and all the stuff there looked like, you know, really, really old stuff that maybe they wouldn't have had. And then as I was looking at this dresser, the guy's like, yeah, that was my parents. They used that dresser for, you know, like 40 years. And I noticed the tag said $100. And I was thinking, well, you know, back home, $100 is probably what this thing goes for. And then, so I decided, I was like, well, I don't know, I might be able to get a better deal. So let me see if it fits. And I had a bunch of other stuff I found already, which I'll show you in a minute. So the back of the van was really full. So I was like, hey, do you have a tape measure I could borrow? And he's like, sure. So he gave me a tape measure. I come in the van, I measured it. I realized it was going to fit. So then I brought it back. And by that time, he knew I was serious. And he's like, hey, I could do a really good deal on that for you if you want. And I was like, okay, well, how good of a deal could you do? He's like, well, how about $50? I was like, well, how about $40? He's like, okay. So I got it for $40. Now that was a great deal. That was, you know, if I was going to get it for like 50 or 75, I might have passed. But at $40, this thing was a great deal. So anyway, I got out 220s and I handed it to him, and then his face dropped. He got really serious. And I was thinking, okay, what's the deal here? And he's like, well, let me just tell you something here. This was my parents' dresser set. They've had for like 40 years. It's the one I remember them having. And now I have to sell it, so I'm kind of guessing maybe his parents died or something. He's like, I might get a little emotional about this, so give me a minute. So then he walked away and he started crying. And I was thinking, okay, well, you know, let the guy cry and let him deal with, you know, getting rid of his parents' dresser. So then he walked back, and I think to make himself feel better, he's like, well, you know what? There's going to be really good karma with this thing because my parents are really good people, so there's like really good karma that's going to follow this. So then I'm thinking, okay, this, you know, whatever, okay, you know, just help me carry it to the van, let me get out of here, you know. And anyway, he's like, well, let me help you carry it to your van. I was like, okay, that'd be great. So we take the drawers out because this thing is built really nice and it's super heavy. And we get down his driveway, and he's carrying it backwards, and I'm facing forwards. And when we get to the road, I was like, hey, if you want, let's walk it sideways so you don't have to go backwards. As soon as I said that, he tripped over his flip-flops, and he fell on the middle of the street. And this thing slammed down on the ground, but it landed on its legs, and I caught it before it tipped over and like broke the stones or whatever. And I was like, are you all right? You all right? He's like, yeah, you know, I'm okay. So then he helped me carry it into the van. And I was like, you know, we got it from here. So then I was able to put it in the back of the van. And I'm thinking, this guy was talking about all this good karma that's coming out of it. And if he really believes in that, then this was bad karma. You know, he sits there and it about breaks the thing and falls in the middle of the ground or middle of the street because he sold it for $40. You know, I got this amazing deal off of it. And then he's like, you know, he's on the bad end of the deal here. So anyway, I don't know. It was a great buy and kind of interesting story. And I think I could sell it for about $140 to $150 around here where I live. I don't think I could get the Kansas City prices, but I think I could still get close to $100 profit off of it. So that's pretty cool. Also bought myself some dry erase markers because I'm just about out of those. And then I bought lots and lots of really, really good stuff. I think this was my best weekend of thrifting and garage sales I've ever done. So I guess I'll just start over here. This thing right here is another one of those cheap New Bright remote control trucks. It's a mudslinger, which if you remember in a video or two ago, I had a mudslinger Jeep I found, and the same thing has the brown tires that look like they have mud on them, and all this mud's like printed on. And he was asking $10. He had the remote. He had the battery charging. He pulled the battery charging in the garage. He took it out. He put it in here, and then he got his remote, and it wouldn't move. And he's like, oh, I got the wrong remote with it. And then he was kind of bummed like I wasn't going to buy it. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm really just interested in it for the body. I actually told him that. He's like, oh, okay. I said, would you do 5 on it? He's like, sure, I'll do 5. So anyway, I got it for $5. This is the really big body. You want the really, really big ones. This is something I learned from Bonafide Hustler. And the really, really big, like New Bright bodies can go for good money. I think at a minimum I can get $50 out of this, but I think I'm going to shoot for around $60 to $75. That'd be a great flip. So I'll just take the body off of this little flimsy plastic frame and just throw all that away and just keep the body. It weighs almost nothing. I mean, once it's in a box, it might end up being over a pound, but it is really light and it's not that big once the rest of it's gone. So that should be a great flip. Okay, here's a Teddy Ruxpin I found at a really, really nice garage sale. The lady had like super high-end stuff, like all of her shoes were really, really nice stuff. They were all women's. I just don't know enough about it, and I couldn't really find comps in the few minutes I was there, but I knew Teddy Ruxpin had to be good, especially when it was only $5. So I quickly looked him up, and he's worth about 50. I'm just now noticing there's a little bit of a stain there and almost like a bleach mark or something there, but I still think I could get about $40 to $50 out of him, especially if he works. So that's pretty cool. At another garage sale, they had a PlayStation 3 with all these controllers. There's a headset, there's a bunch of games, a lot of the Call of Duties, which I've learned are really not worth that much, but then we got Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, some things like that. Lots and lots of controllers and whatnots in there, and they didn't have a price. I asked, well, how much is that? And they were like, well, I don't know, I'm not even sure what those are worth anymore. How about $50? I said, I'll give you a 40 for it. And they said, okay. So I got it for 40 bucks. I know after selling that last one I had, that I should get really good money. This one's way more complete, has more games than the last one I sold. I think I could get maybe 125, 130. I'm not sure about, maybe since Christmas is coming up soon, maybe even like 140 or so, maybe a little higher, but I imagine probably 120, 130, something like that. So that's a great flip for 40 bucks. Let's see, I guess I'll show you this stuff right here. At another garage sale, they had this Kicker wireless Bluetooth speaker, and they had the Sony surround sound system. They were really cheap as is. The Bluetooth speaker, they were only asking 20 bucks on that thing. I knew that was a great deal since it was Kicker, and then this is Sony 4-piece surround sound, only $15. So I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, okay, those things are dirt cheap, but I bet I could get them cheaper if I ask. So I was like, I'm interested in both of those. Do you think you could do a little better deal if I got them both? And then the lady got from her chair, she's like, well, let me see how much I'm asking. She's like, okay, $20 and $15, so that's $35. How about $30? I said, I'll give you a $25 for it. And she said, okay, I'll take it. And or I take that back. Her husband's like, okay, well, I'll take it. And then she looked at him, she's like, really? And he was like, yeah, $25, we'll just get rid of them. So I paid 25 bucks for it. So I'm calling each of them $12.50. And I didn't even look these up. I just knew they were going to be a good deal. And it turns out they are going to be an awesome deal. So I couldn't find, I don't really know what this set is called or if they pieced it together or what. But on eBay, I found them individually. So just the subwoofer here goes for about $99. So that's about 100 bucks. The two speakers here are about $25 with shipping, so probably about $30 or $35. And then I couldn't really find the sound bar, but I imagine it's got to be more than these speakers. I would think maybe 30 to 50, somewhere around there. So if these are 25, we'll call this like 35. That would be, what is that, $60? And then this thing's $100, so it's got to be at least 140, 150, 160, something like that. And I got it for $12.50. Okay, the Kicker's even better. So I finally looked this thing up when I got home, and for $12.50, it was an amazing deal. She also told me that her husband bought this for her for Christmas. She used it one time and decided that she did not like using her phone for music, so she wanted to go back to CDs. So she just decided to sell it this year at the garage sale. She never used it except for one time, although I think, it's kind of hard to see here, but I think there's a little bit of a dent in the grill right here. But I looked this up, and it is insane what these are worth. I looked them up on eBay, on the comps, and a couple of them recently sold between $160 and $190. So this thing is like, you know, almost $200 used. So I can only imagine what it actually cost when it was new. So it was like $160 plus shipping, about $30 shipping, or about maybe $190, $200 with free shipping. So that is awesome. That'd be a great flip. I only ended up paying $12.50. It even has a little tiny sub in the back. So I'll have to hook it up, test it, see if it works. But I thought that was really cool. At a different garage sale, I found these things together. I got them really cheap. Got these for 50 cents each. I think that's 75, but I think I ended up getting it for 50 cents, and this was marked $5, but I got it for $1. So this is one of those square readers that you plug into your phone. You can accept credit cards. I asked her if it worked and how it worked. She told me all that, and I might use it for myself, or I might flip it. I just bought it because it's only $1. It's worth probably about 20 to 25. This right here is a Sony M430 voice recorder that uses the little micro cassettes. I'll have to test it, make sure it works, but if it does, this is great. This is between $35 and $40 for one of those. I thought that was really cool.
And then she had 2 little iPods. I think it was, I don't remember what generation, but only 50 cents each. I asked if they worked. She said they did. She just didn't have the cables for them. But she did erase them before she put them for sale. One is an 8 gig and one is a 16 gig. The 8 gig is going, they're actually selling for about $25, I think. And then the 16 gig, I think, was selling between $30 and $35. So we got, we'll call it 25 and 35, so that would be $60. This thing is about 40, so there's $100, and this thing's maybe 20. So I paid, what was that, $4 or $3 or $4, and it's like over $100. That was a great find, and look how tiny that is. It didn't take up hardly any room at all. Okay, at another garage sale, I found these boots. I sold a lot of these like desert style boots, but what's interesting about these is that they're Converse. I've never seen that before. They're not too bad, a little bit stained up, but the guy told me they were only worn a few times. I imagine they must have been really expensive new, because when I looked them up, they were worth good money. So they were asking 10. I said, I'm interested, but I think I want a little better deal on that. And he's like, well, how much are you thinking? I said, would you take 5? And he's like, sure, I'll take 5. So I looked them up. They sell between $50 and $60 on eBay. So that was a great flip. Right here, I know I've mentioned I don't get into clothes anymore, but I did find some interesting pearl snap, like plaid style Western shirts that are brands I know have sold well in the past, like last winter. So I know winter's gonna be coming around. So I got these thrifting. They are, I think I paid between $3 to $5 each, and I'll probably get like $20, $25 each. So not like amazing flips, but they're not bad. I don't know, I couldn't resist. They're kind of cool. Okay, what else? Okay, this is the other thing I got at a garage sale. This is Villaware brand, a Pizzelle baker, whatever. Basically, it's one of those little fancy Italian cookies. He was asking $10, but if you notice, at one point it used to be $58.50. And I remember someone on YouTube talking about Villaware being worth really good money. So I was like, I'm interested in that. Could you do a better deal? And he's like, well, how much? Okay, 10. He said, well, how about $8? So I said, okay, I'll take it for 8. I looked that up. I didn't find an exact comp, but I think that is near $100. It's got to be like $80, $90, something like that. So that's gonna be a great flip. About 10 times my money on that. Okay, the very first garage sale I went to, I ended up finding this. This is really cool. I actually bought it for myself, but I might end up flipping it because it's worth so much money. So that was a super high-end neighborhood. You could tell they had a lot of money, and they were just giving stuff away. So this scooter, she was only asking $20 on it, and just looking at it, I was like, okay, this thing is way more legit than just like a little Razor scooter. And look at the size of that motor. So I looked it up. The Blade Z XRT 250 Lite, and I couldn't find an exact comp, but one's kind of like it. I think they were a $450 though, so they were going for more money. But used on eBay, there was one listed for, I couldn't find sold comps, but there was one listed for $399 plus shipping, and another one was like almost $800. So I think when these things were new, they were probably close to $1,000 new. So they were really, really expensive. I got it for 20 bucks, and I don't know, she said it didn't have a charger. They lost it, so I'll order one. They're like 10, 15 bucks on eBay, and I'll see if it works. I don't think I'll be getting $200 or $300 here locally, but I might get $150 locally if I decide to sell it. But I think I might play around with that one first, see if I can get it working, and maybe use it to take stuff to the post office or something. So for 20 bucks, I think I can flip that at least like 150. Maybe someone out there would buy 200 around here, but I don't know. I thought that was really cool. Okay, she also had these sunglasses for $10, and I noticed they were Oakley, made in the USA, called Gas Can. Can't really read it, but I looked them up. I found some identical. I think they were selling for around $60 to $70. I ended up getting them for only $5. She also had this Nike watch for $5. I looked up whatever the little model numbers on the back. I'm not sure if it's a watch or a heart rate monitor or what, but they were going for about $50, and I only spent $5 on it. So those are great flips. Okay, at the garage sale where I bought the remote control truck, I also found this Huffy cruiser bike. Now I know Huffy is no good. It's basically a little Walmart grade bike, but this one just seemed interesting, so I wanted to look a little further into it. and there was just something unusual about this one. So it had this weird brake system that looked like nice and new, and then this side didn't have anything at all. It's missing a pedal, so I'm thinking, okay, it was kind of a project bike. He's only asking 10 bucks. I figure I, could maybe flip it real quick, just get a little money out of it. And it's a cruiser bike. The old Huffies always sell. And then I was thinking, well, every one of these Huffy bikes that I've sold has went to a guy that ends up putting a motor on it. So then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, when you squeeze this, it has two cables. The front brake works, and the rear brake works. And then I was like, okay, and it has one of these big sprockets, like when they put a motor on there. And then I look here, I'm like, well, look at that. It's all rusty right here, like it used to have motor mounts. So I think this one actually used to have a motor on it, so it's already almost there. So now I think I can actually get a little better money out of it. It's still kind of rough, but maybe one of those guys out there that wants to turn it into one of those will pay me 30 or 40 bucks. So I might actually turn my $10 into something kind of worth it. Okay, so I did some more thrifting, and I found this. This is a singing Jaws. Basically, it's like a big mouth Billy Bass, except it's Jaws that does the movie theme and Mac the Knife. The box was in perfect condition, but it was laying in the back of the van right next to the dresser, and I took a sharp turn and the dresser tipped over, and then I put it back in place, and the leg landed on here and chewed up the box. So that might have hurt the value a little bit. I paid $6.99, which was a little high, but I looked it up, and with the box they're selling for about $42.95 free shipping on eBay. So with the box like that, I think I can still get probably like $35 or $40. So I figured that was worth it. That's kind of cool. Okay, also got this Sony. It's a DVD and VCR player. It was only $19.95 or $19.99. And I looked this up. This particular model, I don't remember what it is now, but I looked it up. They were selling between $120 and $140 on eBay. So that was an awesome find. I got that at a thrift store. Okay, another thing I found is this really old, kind of way out there, 70s looking newsboy style hat. I think this is for the Missouri Tigers, right in the middle of Missouri and Columbia. I just now noticed it's missing the button up here, but I paid a few dollars for it, and it's not in the greatest condition, but there was one that actually sold like it, I think for either $35 or $39. I don't think this one is in as good a condition, so it might be like $25, something like that. But I don't know, I thought it was just so unusual I couldn't pass on it. Okay, now this one's interesting, and it could be an amazing flip. I got it for $2.95 or $2.99, whatever that is. This is a black leather Cadillac hat. And I looked this up, and there was a black leather Cadillac hat that sold. I think it was a snapback instead of whatever that is. But they had it listed for $80, and it sold with a best offer. So I'm thinking I might get, $50 or $60 out of this, maybe more. Maybe I could ask about 75 or 80 and just see what happens. So I thought that was great. So for $3, I might be able to turn it into like 70 bucks or something like that. I think that'd be awesome. Okay, also I found this Nike backpack. Now it looks like one of those Eastport bags from the 90s that every kid I remember in high school had, with that leather bottom. And something about it was just like, okay, it's such a basic bag, but I'm thinking that might be worth some good money. I've sold Eastpacks before, and they did JanSports like that, and they sold really well. So I looked this one up. It was only $4, $3.99. I looked it up, one identical to it, except the Nike logo was slightly different. Sold for $50 plus shipping on eBay. So I think I could get about $50 out of it. It was only $4. Okay, I also found 2 of these Timbuk2 bags that I learned about from, I think, College Picker. I've never heard of this brand before until I was watching his videos. I've never seen it around here. No one buys nice stuff like around here where I live. But in Kansas City, I found some. I actually found all 4 of these bags at the same thrift store, along with these 2 hats and all the shirts. So that thrift store had really nice stuff. So these Timbuk2 bags, I think I paid $3.99 each. They look fairly identical to me, except this one has a gray stripe instead of a second black stripe, but they are not the same. I looked them up, and I think one is worth about $25, and the other one I think might be worth about $50 to $60. Now, I'm gonna have to look that up because it's kind of weird that one is worth way more than the other, but I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But I think no matter what, they're definitely worth the $3 or $4 I paid. And then finally, we have this bag. which I have never heard of this brand before. I don't even know how you pronounce it. Tangaroa or something like that. But what was interesting was this right here. Check that out. It's leather made in Italy. Really, really nice looking. I don't know if it's like a laptop bag or what. And it was only, I think that's $6.99. Can't really read it, but I think that's what it was, $6.99. I looked it up. I couldn't find an exact comp on eBay, but every leather bag from this company I saw on eBay that actually sold was over $100. They were all pre-owned, so I think this could be a $100 bag. It could, I mean, it could be like 60 or 70, but I think it will be like 100, maybe 120, maybe 130, 140. I don't know. But for $7, that's gonna be a great flip. So this ended up being one of my best weekends ever. Now that I'm getting better at finding good stuff, it really is out there. But the opportunity is definitely, it seems to be in like the bigger areas. So I probably could find one of these around here where I live. I know I found those. I know I found some PS3s, but the really nice audio equipment I don't really ever see. I do find these a lot. I never find nice bags like that. I've never found anything nice like that. I've never seen anything nice like that. I have found things like the sunglasses and watch. I find these all the time, these cheapo bikes. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. So this is probably going to be one of my best weekends ever. Oh, and I almost forgot, I had the really nice dressers. So I got an amazing deal on that. So this is going to be a really, really good week of flipping, but man, oh man, I'm going to be busy. So I need to get started on it.
All right, so not only did I buy a bunch of awesome stuff this weekend, but I also had quite a few sales. Now, there was only a couple that were pretty good. The others were a little smaller, but it's nice to get some stuff moving. And I'm kind of crunched for time today, so I'm just going to read off right here. So the very first item that sold is this right here. This is a handheld free cell game made by Excalibur. When I looked it up, there was one that had sold, it had the box, it went for like 30 bucks. I found this at a garage sale for 5 cents. I gave the lady a nickel for this thing. I thought I was going to get about $20 to $25 out of it. It didn't happen, so I dropped the price down to $14.95 plus shipping, and it sold. So I believe they paid $3.75 for shipping, so in total they paid $18.70, and I paid 5 cents for that, so that's pretty cool. Next thing that sold is, now that it's back to school season, calculators are moving. This is a Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. This is like a business financial analyst calculator, probably for some type of business class. And I've sold a bunch of those. They don't go for as much as graphing calculators, but they're not bad. You can still get them really cheap. I got this one for $1.50 at the thrift store, and it sold for $21.95 with free shipping. Okay, next thing that sold is this right here. I might have to show a picture. This is a Kodak camera. It's the Kodak EasyShare Z5010. And I got it for $5 at a garage sale. It is a digital camera, not a film camera. I've made that mistake before. But anyway, not a super great camera, but not bad for $5. It sold for $49.95 with free shipping. It'll probably be about $10 a ship, something like that. So it's not too bad. Okay, next item sold is another calculator. I like finding these. Texas Instruments graphing calculator. This is a TI-83 Plus. The TI-83s don't go for quite as much money as the 84s, but they're not too bad. This one's actually pretty good. I bought it for $1 at a yard sale, I think, if I remember right. And I had it listed for $39.90 or $34.95, I think. And I figured I would get it, but I had a best offer on there. I probably shouldn't have done that, and they gave me a best offer of $25. So I countered back at $30, and they took it. So that's with free shipping. It don't cost that much to ship out. I'll still make $20-something on it. That's not too bad. Okay, next item. Let's see here. You know what? I'll save that one for last because it's on the bottom. It's really heavy. Well, okay, I'll save that one too. It's big. Next one here. I don't know if you'll be able to see these or not. Oh yeah, I guess you could. So this is a set of vintage single blade razors from Gillette. One's in really nice condition and one is not so great, needs to be cleaned up. It also has the little metal tin of old razors. I got these at a garage sale. I actually bought them for myself. I'm not a big fan of shaving, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to try out some of these old school single blade razors. And for $1, hey, I mean, I looked them up on eBay when I was looking into them in the past, and they were, you know, like for a cheapo one, it was like $15 for an old one. And I put these up. They're not in the greatest condition, but they did sell together, all three pieces, for $19.95 of free shipping. And I only paid $1, so that's not too bad. Okay, I'll go with this right here. This took a long time to sell, but I found the perfect person. So this is a really big Hello Kitty plush. And I've been kind of keeping my eye out for plushes, really big ones that seem to be a little less common. It can be really good money. Some of them are like amazing money. I've never found a really amazing one before. And this one didn't quite, well, it didn't go anywhere near what I thought it would. I thought this would be like 25, 30 bucks. I got it for $1 at Goodwill, and it was up for a long time. I bought this last fall. I mean, I've had it almost a year now. And this lady contacted me and said that she wouldn't know what year it was, because back in the 70s, she got one as a kid, and then their house burned down or something, and she lost it, or I don't know, something happened, and she never got it back, and her parents couldn't find another one. And it had blue overalls, which apparently is, I don't know, she said not common, or it just looked like the one she had. She wanted to know what year this one's from. This one's from, like 2015 or something like that, so it was like almost new. And it wasn't quite what she was looking for, but it was close enough. She decided to buy it. But she, I had the price dropped way down. I was just trying to get rid of it. So I thought it would go for, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. I dropped the price all the way down because no one was interested in this thing. I put it all the way down to $10 plus shipping. And then this lady was asking about it, and she decided to go for it. So she also paid $6.70 shipping, so that's a total of $16.70. And I paid $1. So it was not as great as I thought, but it's not too bad. Next one here, I'll have to show a picture because I have it all wrapped up. I have it sandwiched between two pieces of cardboard, and then I saran wrapped over it, and then I put it in a poly mailer. But this is my second Chevelle shop repair manual from 1964, I think. I bought two of them at a thrift store. It was kind of run down, but they had some interesting auto books there. I paid $3 a piece. I thought they were going to go for like, I think I originally had them at like $35 or something like that. Then they were down to like $25. Then the last one that was in really good shape compared to this one sold for $19.95 free shipping. I did media mail. This one, they were both in pretty good condition, but I was working on one of my DIY dork projects, and I accidentally spilled blue paint, and it got all over the front of this one. It just happened to be sitting right there where I was painting. It was a terrible idea. And anyway, so I reduced the price on this one to get rid of it. I think it might have been the cheapest one on eBay because it sold fairly quickly once I dropped the price. And it went for $14.95 of free shipping. I paid $3. Media mail shipping is going to be like $3, so after fees and all that, I'll make like $9 or something like that, so not super great. Okay, here are the two items that are kind of big. I'll probably have to show pictures. This one right here, and you know what, actually I might be able to show this one. No, I got it all bubble wrapped. Alright, I'll just show a picture. This is that vintage, I think it's from 1990. It is New Bright, which is kind of the cheapo, like Walmart, Kmart type remote control car. But this one is the USS Kitty Hawk jet. I don't know if it's like F-15, 14, 16, I don't know what it is. Some type of jet. Has the cord coming to it, and then it has the big giant remote like I remember from when I was a kid. And man, I would have been 8 years old when that come out. That is exactly the type of thing I would have wanted as a kid. I would have thought that was so cool. And I got it at a garage sale for $3. And I thought that thing, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I looked it up, and there was some that sold, and I figured it'd be like $50 or $60, something like that. Well, no, not really. I dropped the price down, just kept, I don't remember where I started it, but I eventually dropped it down to, let me find here, I forgot how much already. $30 plus shipping, so not amazing. They paid $9.37, so in total they paid $39.37. So technically it met my $30 goal, although I paid $3 for it, so it's already dropped me down. I'll also pay some fees. I'll probably make $23, somewhere around there, $22, $24, somewhere around there. So it's all right. It's really big, so I have to make sure to write fragile all over it and do not drop, because I do not want that to break. Also, I tested out. It worked, except for one of the buttons on the remote did not. I think it was a sound effect or something. Something didn't work, so I made sure to mention that. But otherwise, it works, so it's kind of cool. It's fun to play with for a few minutes. And the last item, this was the best sale of the week. This is an HP DeskJet 5650. And you know what? I might actually be able to show you. Yeah, you can pretty much see it. Basically, just a big printer. HP DeskJet 5650. In the box, it has the styrofoam packing, all that kind of stuff in there, so it should be really nice and safe when it ships. It looks really complete. I got this at a church rummage sale just right down the road. They were only asking $10 on it. I looked it up and they were going for over $100 plus shipping. So I put mine at $129.95 with free shipping, and it finally sold. It took a little while, but it did sell. The guy said that he uses his all the time. He wanted me to ship it out as soon as possible. I was gone all weekend, so I actually bumped up my handling time to 3 days. Usually I do 2 days. Hopefully he won't be upset about that, but I will send it out today. So I paid $10. I'm also going to pay some shipping on it. I don't know what's going to cost. I assume around $20. It's still going to be a great flip. Even if I do have 30 in it, that drops me down to 100, and then I'll pay fees. 9% eBay, like 3 or 4% PayPal, so around 13% of 130 is, you know, whatever, $15, $16, $17. So I'll make like 85-ish, something like that, 80 something dollars on it. So that's pretty good. Hopefully it worked. I was not able to test the actual printing function. I plugged it in, it turned on, it did all the you know, the startup cleaning and all that kind of stuff, but I did not have ink for it and I didn't want to buy it. So I'm just kind of selling it as is, and if the guy finds out that this thing is broken, doesn't work, what I tend to do is just take the loss instead of paying to get shipping back. And I mean, I don't know. We'll see on this one, because it is at least $100, that even if it don't work, maybe I would accept it back and just sell it for parts only, and at least get all of my money back from if I have to pay any kind of shipping, and, you know, make $30 on it or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that was the flips and finds of the week. I found tons of really, really cool stuff. It was a really, really good weekend for buying. And then sales, it was like a slow week, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I leave for the weekend, just cha-ching, 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 over and over and over again. And I kind of felt a little helpless, because normally I like to get stuff prepared and ready to pack out, and I send it out Saturday if possible, and I was gone, so that kind of sucked. But anyway, alright, so I was actually done with the video, and I started carrying boxes out, and as soon as I did that, my phone cha-chinged, and I sold one more item. So I'll go ahead and show it to you, because it's a really good one. And it's in this box right here. You can see I took a marker and just marked out everything that would identify what it used to be. This used to be a box of paper. So I don't want them thinking that, you know, they have paper sitting on the front of their porch when it shows up. So I just mark all that out. Also on boxes like I get from Amazon or whatever, like any barcodes, I'll mark them out. I pull all old stickers off. Like the one on top, I've done it halfway there, and I still got to pull that one off. I just make sure that, you know, all that stuff is marked out and it's totally blank. Sometimes I even mark through the Amazon logo, but I don't think that's too important. But I make sure all barcodes, all stickers, any like branding, all that, I just try to get rid of all that. So anyway, here is what sold. This is the second one I've had, and they both sold really well. This is a Baby Breza, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's the Formula Pro. It's basically, think of it like a coffee maker, but for baby bottles. You put the powdered formula up top, you put water in this thing, you plug it in, you set a timer, there's a thing that spins up there, and it has different size holes, I guess based on baby weight, or I don't know. But you can change the amount of formula that, you know, in the bottle will actually make. And then it makes it like the perfect temperature, and it's like hands-free. And both people I bought them from said it was like a lifesaver, and they loved it. So people really like to buy these. I've got them both at garage sales. They were both cheap. The last one they were asking $40. I got for $30. It sold for about $100. That might have been with free shipping. I don't remember. Or maybe it was like $110 free shipping. This one here, it seemed like maybe the price went slightly down, but I got more out of it because I charged shipping. So this one sold for $89.95 plus shipping. And I only paid, I got it at, they were asking 30 or 35. I got it for 25 at the garage sale. And like I said, it sold for $89.95. And they paid in total with shipping $115.85. So that's about $25 shipping, somewhere around there. Maybe just under $25 shipping. So that's kind of what you can expect for something about that size and that weight. Pretty good weight on there. What is it? It's 9 pounds 1 ounce. It's actually pretty heavy. So, okay. So anyway, that was all of the flips and finds of the week. If you like these types of items in these videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And then also, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that to keep up with more of these videos. So anyway, thanks for checking it out.